Self-destructive behaviours are something that we all experience. We often find ourselves doing things that contradict our goals or healthy habits that we try so hard to achieve. These behaviours may be done intentionally, but more often than not they are done subconsciously. In both cases, they slow or reverse your progress if left unchecked. Becoming aware of these behaviours and what triggers them will allow you to break out of your destructive patterns and continue on your path to enlightenment, world domination and whatever else tickles your pickle. So what actually are some self-destructive behaviours then? Well, self-destructive behaviours can appear in any aspect of your life. For work, it can be something as simple as you show up late and you're unprepared. For your relationships, you might blame others for the situation that you're in. For self-confidence, you might feel unworthy of happiness, success or love. For your health, you might easily talk yourself out of working out. For self-care, you might procrastinate large tasks rather than starting them. For finances, you might impulse buy without even considering if you have the funds. There are many, many more self-destructive behaviours that you can have, and everybody's list is going to be different. You could probably write a list as long as something long, but what you want to do is try and list down some of the self-destructive behaviours that you know yourself that you do. Some of them will be glaringly obvious and other ones might require a little bit more thinking to do. Once you have a list of all of the self-destructive behaviours that you have, it becomes much easier for you to identify your triggers and what causes you to do these things. So what are your triggers? Well, these can be caused by earlier life experiences, or they could also be down to mental health issues that you may have, such as anxiety or depression. So your triggers can come from a belief that you are not good enough or you're not worthy of success. This could stem from when you were a child. Say, for example, you had an absentee parent or you had an abusive parent. This could have made you feel ignored. You could have felt unloved or unworthy of attention. The thing is, when you're a child, your brain doesn't work the same way as when you're an adult. Mind-blowing information. But when you're a kid, you have your parents up here on a pedestal. They can't do anything wrong. They know everything and they never make mistakes. So what does that tell you? Well, it's obvious. You're the problem. So your little child brain begins to rationalise all of the bad things that are happening to you with you as the root of the problem. And this is really important because this is when you're starting to form your identity as a person. So if you start to believe that you are the problem, then you start to develop this identity that you are someone who is worth ignoring, worth being abused in some cases. Pretty scary stuff, innit? What's worse is when you get older, this identity is still rooted deep within you. So you may get an amazing job, you may go to university, you may get into an amazing relationship, and things start to feel like they're going your way. But you might start to realise that things just aren't right, and you start to feel like you're not as happy as you should be. And this is because the person that you are is in direct conflict with the person you believe you are. So you may start to have your amazing job, your great relationship, but inside you believe that you're somebody who's not worthy of love or attention or success. These beliefs don't align with the person that you're trying to be, so your subconscious starts to pull you back to who it believes you should be. And in any case, this is not good news, because your subconscious always wants to be right. It can't be wrong. You can't have been wrong for its whole life, telling you that you are something that you're not. Get it? So let's imagine that you were overweight and you wanted to make a change. You start crushing it in the gym, you start going for your walks, you start eating really healthy and things are starting to go your way. One day you decide that you're not going to go for your workout. One day turns into 2 days. 2 days turns into a week. And you start making excuses like, I'm just not feeling it today, I'll start again tomorrow. But tomorrow never really comes. And this could be because you have this identity that you believe you're somebody who doesn't deserve to be in good shape and you don't deserve to be healthy. When you have these limiting beliefs, such as, I'll never lose weight, I am always going to be fat and unhealthy, your subconscious believes that that's who you are and it's always going to drive you towards being that person. So if you want to be healthy, you need to talk to yourself as if you are a healthy person. You need to make decisions like a healthy person would. A great way to do this is just to think. When you're about to stuff your face full of those crisps, those sweets again, think to yourself, is this something that a healthy person would do? If I was a healthy person, would I do this? And you put yourself into the mindset of becoming that person. It's kind of like fake it till you make it. So if you're constantly suffering from feeling like you're unworthy of success, it can also lead to imposter syndrome. You may have heard of this before, but this is basically where you don't feel like any of your successes are earned and somebody's going to find you out for being an imposter, basically. So no matter how many achievements you get, you always feel like you're going to be caught out because you almost don't feel that you deserve it. This is something that I've been dealing with for as long as I can remember, so I'll likely do a video on it. If you want to know more about that, then consider subscribing and I will hook you up with a video when I'm ready. So we now know some of the reasons why we self-sabotage, but how do we actually start to break out of these self-destructive patterns? It's a difficult question to answer because there is no blanket answer that's going to cover everybody, because everyone is different and you can be doing these self-destructive behaviours for a whole host of different reasons. That being said, I do have 4 different sort of solutions to scenarios that may help you. So we mentioned before that you can be self-sabotaging because you have a deeply rooted belief that you are someone who's not worthy of success or not worthy of being loved. And a great way to start to address this problem is just to write down all of the beliefs that you think you have about yourself. Basically, you make 2 columns on a bit of paper, and one column you will have all of the beliefs that you think you have about yourself. So I am not worthy of success, I'm not worthy of being loved, I am fat and lazy, all of these kind of things. And then you want to write a separate column and write the exact counter to that example. So for everyone, you write the opposite. I don't deserve success becomes I do deserve success. So once you've filled out your counter beliefs, you want to take this a step further and draw a 3rd column, and this one's going to be titled why. And in this column, you're basically just going to reinforce all of your counter beliefs with one true fact about why these are true. So I do deserve success. Your why would be because I work hard. It sounds ridiculous, but it does help when you start to write these things down and get into a proactive mindset about it. You remember that all of these beliefs that you have about yourself are not true. They're not worthy of taking up space in your head, and getting them down on paper and having this brain dump can help to really pinpoint where it is that you're having these issues. In some cases, it might just be that your self-destructive habits are a result of not having the correct support systems in place. So you might find yourself procrastinating over doing large tasks because that large task needs to be broken down into smaller chunks to make it easier to start. It could also be that your good habits are not supported by the correct support systems as well. So if you start healthy eating, for example, but you're not supporting that healthy eating by going for your walks or drinking plenty of water, counting your calories, weighing yourself regularly to take track of your progress, then you might find it a lot easier to just revert back to binge eating and you'll lose your progress again. If you want to find out more information on how to set good habits and how to break bad ones, then I would highly recommend that you check out James Clear's Atomic Habits. This is a book that I read this year and it lays out all of the habits perfectly into a step-by-step system for how you can get rid of the bad habits by making them unattractive and set good habits by making them attractive. And I will leave that link down in the description if you want to go and pick yourself one of those up, but I would definitely recommend that you read it. It's very easy to read as well. If self-destructive patterns are something that you find yourself falling into very regularly, then it could be that you do have one of these deeply rooted beliefs about yourself that needs to be addressed. One of the best ways to address these issues is to go and talk to somebody. Maybe you do need to check in for some therapy. Remember that these self-destructive behaviours can be a coping mechanism that you've developed and you just didn't realise, so talking to an expert could help you get to the root of that problem and fix it. A YouTuber by the name of Struthless made a great point which I would like to add here as well, and that is to treat yourself like someone you love. If your friend got great exam results, you wouldn't tell them that it was a fluke, but when you get the great results, you think it was. You wouldn't tell your friend that they are unworthy of being loved or unworthy of success, but you tell yourself that exact same thing. Start to talk to yourself like you are your friend. Treat yourself like you're someone you love. Talk to yourself in a much more positive way, and this will have a profound impact on your mental health and also your progress in all aspects of life. Remember that these self-destructive behaviours are likely going to appear again in your life, but as long as you're aware of the behaviours, what triggers them, and also that your beliefs are not your truths, then you might just be okay.